This is the finale of the 2005 World Rally Championship. We're in Perth, Australia, and the lively local fans have so far enjoyed one of the most eventful rallies of the year. World champion Sébastien Loeb has at times been unstoppable this season, but even the unflappable Frenchman was not immune to the dangers of this difficult event.
Okay. That
was the Citroën driver's first crash in over 2 years. With Loeb out, Petter Solberg was on course for his 4th win of the season, but a hazard unique to rallying down under, though, would spell disaster. The Norwegian hit a kangaroo, and the damage to the front of the car would prove terminal.
It's just incredible. I don't deserve this now. Not the whole team, you know. Everybody worked so hard.
Marcus Grönholm's final rally for Peugeot ended on day 1 when his suspension collapsed. The Finn's attempts to make repairs would be in vain. And with their second driver, Daniel Carlson's rally going up in smoke, it marks a sad departure from the sport for the French team. Local hero Chris Atkinson looked set for a glorious run at his home event, leading early on. But after a bent steering arm dropped him to 13th, he's been on and sometimes over the limit ever since.
We had a massive spin in 6th gear. I don't know how we got away with it. We're heading for the trees, bounced back on the road, started the car, maybe lost 10 seconds.
Like Atkinson, Gigi Gali is attempting this rally for only the 2nd time, and he's had little faith in his pace notes at times. This has led to mistakes and the loss of 4th position. Danny Sola has had a spectacular event so far. He's running 9th. The Worksport drivers, though, have the brand new 2006 Focus at their disposal. It's been a promising start, a misfiring engine Tony Gardemeister's only problem so far. The team have done their best to keep the new Evolution under wraps, but some Citroën employees took the opportunity to spy on the opposition at regroup. It's been a terrific performance from Mitsubishi's Harry Rovanperä so far. The Finn was another driver distracted by the local wildlife, and he was running 2nd until a high-speed spin yesterday afternoon. Which paved the way for the returning Colin McRae to elevate Skoda to their highest ever position. Even with only 1 WRC appearance in the past 2 years, the Scot has certainly lost none of his speed. Course for his first ever win, though, is Citroën's Francois Duval. It's been a difficult season for the young Belgian, but barring disaster, he should end the year on a high. So it's back to the countryside surrounding the city of Perth in Western Australia for the 6 stages and 103 kilometres of leg 3. Duval's lead coming into the final day is just over 27 seconds, but it's that battle for 2nd between McRae and Rovanperä that holds the attention. As the final day dawns, it's time for the last-minute preparations, and it's a huge day for 3 drivers. Francois Duval is within touching distance of his first WRC win. Harry Rovanperä could provide Mitsubishi with their 2nd podium of the year, and Colin McRae could give Skoda their best ever finish.
Can you keep hold of 2nd place today, Colin?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try, that's for sure, and push as hard as possible in the first couple of stages and see if we can make any inroads to Duval.
Does it feel a bit like old times fighting with Harry Rovanperä for podiums on the World Rally Championship?
It does a bit. We've had a few with Harry in the past. Generally got the better of him, but we'll see what happens today.
Francois, is today the most important day of your rallying career so far?
Yeah, sure, and the moment is really good. It's the 6 stages, 100 kilometers. It's a long day today. I hope I stay on the road.
It's a short blast around the 4.5-kilometre Atkins stage to get the day underway. With 2nd place at stake, Harry Rovanperä is looking very focused. He's on the way then, and the Finn is immediately pushing in a bid to match the runner-up spot he achieved here last season for Peugeot. Colin McRae, on the other hand, is a 2-time winner of this event. Scott's performance this weekend in the unfancied Skoda Fabia has been nothing short of inspiring. On such a short stage, it's unlikely that Rovanperä can make any significant gains. At the 1.5-kilometre mark, he set a time of 53.3 seconds. Back with the 1995 world champion, and he's still giving it his all. Here comes his first split comparison. He's slightly slower already, 9 tenths down so far. It's looking good then for Rovanperä. The team began the year with third place for Gilles Panizzi, and they're already set to finish where they started. But can Harry go one better?
Downhill in the narrow, loose gravel on the forest is very tricky, and but okay, the day is starting and we will see.
McRae is in a car that's lagged behind its competitors all year, but the Scot has proved that it can compete at the top level.
Into long 4 right line and crest. Into turn 1 left.
He was only 5.1 seconds ahead before this short stage, remember. Let's see how he's got on here.
150 to stop.
1.6 seconds slower, a worrying start for McRae.
It's the worst stage today for sure. Really tricky. A lot of trees very close to the road, so you just got to take it easy more than pushing that one.
Oblivious to the battle raging behind, Francois Duval, with his advantage of nearly half a minute, just needs to avoid any mistakes, and he should claim his first ever win. The Belgian is second fastest on stage 21. There's some concern for Francois, though, as he checks the rear of his car.
Francois, how was the first stage of the morning?
It's okay, it's really slippery. For the rest, it's okay.
Chris Atkinson, meanwhile, has been very fast since his steering arm problem on day 1. The Australian's pace this weekend has defied his inexperience, and appearing at his home event has certainly inspired the Australian.
Short right, then long 7 left, narrow, then hug long 7 right opens, then tight 7 minus, 40, very narrow, 7 left, tightens half.
Gigi Gali will need to recover some composure after an erratic performance yesterday afternoon. The Italian was only 7.2 seconds ahead of Atkinson before this stage, and he's already slower. That's not good enough from Gigi. He's lost 5th place. Further back, Roman Cresta in the new Ford Focus is also within touching distance of the Italian's Mitsubishi. It's looking very slippery out there this morning, and after losing 40 seconds after a spin, he gives 7th place to his teammate Gardemeister. So, after stage 21, several positions in the top 8 are still up for grabs. Duval looks safe, but Atkinson and Gardemeister have both gained places. Danny Sola will need a retirement ahead to move into the point-scoring places. He's just ahead of Skoda's Armin Schwartz. It's the longest stage of the final day next, and at nearly 30 kilometres, this could be the pivotal test of the day. Tony Gardemeister has had a few mechanical and setup issues with the 2006 Focus, but he's slowly but surely improved his pace. The car's been built to next year's cost-cutting specifications, so the fact that it's matching the pace of the current models here is very promising. The Finn's 5th fastest on stage 22 and passes Gali for 6th. Chris Atkinson, having already passed the Italian, now has his sights set on the 4th place of privateer Manfred Stoll. It's been a frustrating debut season at times for the Subaru driver, but he achieved his first podium finish in Japan last month, and it's been another strong performance here. He's fastest through the stage so far. Stoll is an experienced competitor, and he's competed here 5 times before, so he'll be no pushover.
In Kuppe gerade, plus rechts 4 minus, in links 4 minus lang.
Oh, that's a mistake from the Austrian, though. He doesn't appear to have lost too much time, but with Atkinson on a charge, he can't afford too many more moments like that. Meanwhile, the battle for second continues to rage on. Harry Rovanperä is perfectly at home on this slippery gravel. On loose surfaces, the Finn is one of the best in the business. He continues his relentless pursuit of Colin McRae. The Scot is being a little cautious on these tricky conditions this morning.
Into right and turn 2 left.
Oh, and he's clipped a small tree there. He's still pushing hard, but he's starting to look a bit untidy. Yes, and look at the front left of the Fabia. He sustained a bit of damage with that impact. So, has he done enough to hold on to that 3.5 second advantage after that mistake? This doesn't look good.
3 left plus line, don't cut. Okay.
No, he's 8.2 seconds slower, and second place is now Rovanperä's.
Back of the car was terrible.
Colin, a little bit of damage to the front, and time lost drops you to third.
Yeah, it just didn't really go well at all in there. Yeah, it's a very, very difficult stage, so that's the way it goes.
Francois Duval, meanwhile, has so far looked calm and confident in the lead. And crucially, he's shown no signs of making the sort of mistake that has been so costly to his season so far.
Francois, you're quickest so far. You've won the stage. That's extended your lead.
Yes, I'm very lucky on the first part. After 10 kilometers, I cut a little bit too much the corner, and now the puncher on the front right, and the car is all the time on the steer, and not take too much risk.
A bit of a reminder then for the Belgian on that stage that he hasn't quite won this rally yet. So, Rovanperä is now Duval's closest rival, and his advantage is now 37 seconds. McRae is 4.7 seconds behind second place. Join us after the break to see if the Scot can fight back. Welcome back to Western Australia for this exciting final day of the WRC season. So, Harry Rovanperä has managed to pass the Skoda of Colin McRae for second, but can he stay ahead of the former world champion?
Okay, vasen täys 5. Oikein täys. Maan nypyn yli. Oikein täys sisältä 5. Vasen eri plus 5.
This would be a fine finish to what's already been a resurgent season for a team that were once the best in the business. It's another terrific time from Harry on stage 23. Skoda have yet to announce their plans for next season, but taking second and achieving their best ever result would surely go a long way to cementing their future. So there is a lot at stake here for McRae.
150.
The Scot is, as always, giving it everything through here. He had slipped of 4.7 seconds behind the Mitsubishi driver, but has he been able to fight back?
Into 3 right plus. 30 to stop.
No, he's slower again and is now almost 7 seconds behind.
Yeah.
He was a lot worse than before.
Yeah, definitely.
Duval was second quickest on that stage and maintains his lead. McRae is 6.9 seconds behind Rovanperä, so second place is still within sight.
I drive on 90%. The time is really good. I continue on the same rhythm for the 3 last stage.
So Duval's still confident, and Rovanperä is on course for Mitsubishi's best result of the year, which will be a fitting goodbye for Andrew Cowan, the man who's managed the team's rally program for 33 years.
Colin McRae is just 6.9 seconds behind Harry Rovanperä. Can Harry do it and hang on to second?
Well, I would like to think that he can, and I hope he can. But, I mean, like everyone here and everyone in the sport, delighted to see Colin driving the way he is and getting the opportunity. You know, I certainly wish him a very good result.
Colin, just 6.9 behind Harry Rovanperä. Can you pass him and get second place?
I hope so, I hope so. We've generally been a bit quicker on the second pass of the stages, so we're hoping that that's going to be the case this afternoon.
But Rally Australia has one more drama to deliver. Skoda have decided to change the clutch on McRae's car, and it should be a routine operation, but there have been complications.
The guys are changing the clutch in the car, but it's going to be a very last-minute thing. If the clock turns to 57, then we're taking 1 minute of lateness, which means 10 seconds on our stage times, which will then perhaps put Harry out of reach to perhaps catching that second place.
The Czech team are frantically continuing with the change, but with every passing second, the tension is building. And the rest of the service park cannot believe what is unfolding. Co-driver Nicky Grist is still waiting at time control.
This is going from bad to worse. Watch the clock, guys. 11 minutes and 59, so that's 11:11:59. After that, we are out of the rally anyway. We're over the time limit, so that's it. We don't even leave the service park.
Nicky, you got 10 seconds to go. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so. It's such a... I can't tell you how disappointing it is to finish this rally like that, especially after we put our heart and soul into it, you know. It's really gutting. That's it. It's over. It's over. Really disappointing.
It's incredibly frustrating, but there's a good deal of respect from every team for what Colin and Nicky had achieved. But what a disappointing way to lose Skoda's hopes for a best ever finish.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Just what can you say?
Take me through it.
I don't really know what the problem is, but with some kind of problem with the clutch, which they decided to change, which should have been a routine service and turned into a nightmare.
The drama in this final rally of the year is showing no sign of abating, and there's still 3 more stages to come. Tony Gardemeister is beginning to prove that the new Ford Focus could be a real force next season. The Finn gives the new car its first ever stage win on stage 24, but goes from delight to despair on the following test. A broken water pump has ended his rally with the finish in sight. But nevertheless, the team can certainly be optimistic for the future. Teammate Roman Cresta, though, is still running, of course, and with Gardemeister out, he's now up to 6th, and still within touching distance of Gigi Gali. Like the Finn, he's on full attack on this final afternoon. The Czech is second quickest on stage 25, although he has reported a gearbox problem, which could be a bit of a worry as the team seek to add to their record-breaking 59-point scoring finishes. Chris Atkinson could still improve on what's already been a remarkable comeback as he attempts one last charge for a podium place. From 13th on the leaderboard on Friday afternoon, he's already up to 4th, but can he catch Manfred Stoll? The Austrian is driving one of last year's championship-winning Citroën Zaras and is now up to 3rd after McRae's retirement. He's giving it everything to hang on to that position. By the end of stage 24, the gap to Atkinson stood at 22.5 seconds, and he's definitely lost more time here. 14.7 seconds slower, and there's now just 7.9 between them. The late retirements for McRae and Gardemeister has allowed Ford driver Danny Sola to sneak into 7th place. And on his final rally before retirement, Armin Schwartz is on course to score driver's points for the first time this season. With just one stage remaining, Duval's win looks safe, while it's the battle for third between Stoll and Atkinson that could still change on the final test. The final stage of the 2005 season is coming up after the break. Welcome back to Australia, where the final stage is about to get underway. Manfred Stoll already has one podium finish under his belt this season after his fantastic second place in Cyprus. He's been pushing hard to keep ahead of Chris Atkinson, who's already finished. Stoll has to keep the Australian at least 7.9 seconds behind him to hold on to third. Yes, he's done it. A fine performance from the Austrian, but that obviously means disappointment for the local hero. And the Subaru driver is the first to congratulate Manfred and co-driver Ilka Miner. On course for his and Mitsubishi's best finish of the season is Harry Rovanperä. It's a shame we were deprived of a nail-biting fight to the finish with Colin McRae, but the Finn and the team gratefully accept the runner-up spot.
Okay, finish. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Risto. Nice to finish.
I'm very sad with Colin and Skoda. Boys and team doing a so nice race, and but anyway, for Mitsubishi that is fantastic.
Meanwhile, Francois Duval gives it one last push on the way to his own personal milestone. As one by one the championship frontrunners dropped out, the Belgian has kept out of trouble and maintained an impressive pace. He makes it home in one piece and becomes the first Belgian to win a world rally. It's also the first victory for co-driver Sven Smits after a 10-year career in the sport, so an emotional day for him too. Duval's final winning margin over 50 seconds. Rovanperä in second gives Mitsubishi their best result for 4 years. Armin Schwartz marks his retirement by taking the final point-scoring place. Behind the top 8, Japanese driver Toshirai has secured the production WRC title with his win in the category.
I'm very happy, the last rally, the first victory. I'm very happy for Citroën. Thank you, Guy Frecklin. Thank you, Sven. Good help for the last 8 rally. It's really good job. Now I hope I continue next year with Citroën.
I'm very happy because it's a very difficult rally, and it's with a Citroën car, and it's also very important for the team, for us, to finish the season with a win like this.
No change in positions in the Drivers' Championship. Hedda Solberg's 3 victories means he takes second place in front of Marcus Grönholm. Victory in Australia brings Citroën's total for the season to 11, beating Lancia's mark of 10 back in 1988. Another record in a record-breaking season for the French team. But for a change, it's Francois Duval who gets to taste the champagne. The man who tops the podium in what has been the most eventful rally of the season. And in just over 2 months' time, it all gets going again in Monte Carlo. Until then, you can get all the latest WRC news on the official website at WRC.com. But we'll leave you with a few memories of 2005.